interest. Ang pagpapalit ng saligang batas na walang kinalaman sa interes ng mga mamamayan, kundi interes lamang ng mga politiko. Magkakaroon po ba tayo ng mga senador matatayo sa kultura ng pagiging hindi Pilipino? Ang bayan po natin ay Pilipinas, hindi po tayo probinsya ng China. Yan po ang hinaharap natin ngayong eleksyon na ito. These are not political choices merely. These are moral choices. And it implicates the life, the identity, the future of our country. Ganun po kabigat ang ating hinaharap. Yan po ang ating magiging desisyon sa darating na Mayo. Kaya naman kami po ay natutuwa na nabigay nyo ng tiwala, na isinusulong nyo ang aming kandidatura dahil sa bigat ng aming kalaban, dahil sa bigat ng ating mga tatalakayan. Ang aming pong pangarap, ang mga in-endorse po ng People's Choice Movement will become the People's Choice in the 2019 election. Salamat po. Magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Maraming salamat, Attorney Pilo. Now, may I call on Attorney Ace Bautista, son-in-law and campaign manager of Senator Romy Nakalintal.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Humingi ho ng paumanhin si Atty. Makalintal dahil hindi siya nakatalaw dito. Siya po ay nasa Cebu ngayon at alam niyo naman sa mga katulad namin na medyo kulang po ang resources. What we lack in resources and funds, we make up for hard work. Kaya wala pong tigil ang pangangampanya niya. Sabi niya, Ace, baka pwede mong puntahan yung People's Choice Movement para ipaabot kung gaano kalalim ang pagpapasalamat natin sa kanila. I would like to start with introducing my father-in-law to you. Siguro, ulitin ko, no? I'm not the son, I'm the son-in-law of Atty. Makalintal. Kaya kung may mga nag-iisip po sa inyo o nagdududa kung mabuti siyang tao, siguro kung ang nangangampanya sa'yo ay manugang mo, mabuti ka nga talagang tao. Si Atty. Makalintal po, alam niyo na yung track record niya. He's an outstanding lawyer, one of the best election lawyers in the country. But what I want to introduce to you is his moral resume. Ayan ang pinaglalaban natin dito, yung moralidad ng bansa natin. He has been serving the church as a lector since 1984 until last year. He just took a leave for this campaign. No? So 34 years, nagsisilbi siyang lector. Naging coordinator din siya ng CBCP ng Year of the Lady. Araw-araw, kahit nasaan kami, nagsisimba. Whether sa probinsya, yan ang una niyang hahanapin, saan tayo matutulog? Sana doon sa malapit sa simbahan. Madaling araw, magta-tricycle ka para makapagsimba. Ayan po ng klaseng tao. Ayan ang tao na naisa na natin ibigay naman o i-offer sa sambayanan natin. Isa pa pong gusto kong ipaalam sa inyo, as a professional, si Atty. Makalintal, hindi niya na isa-separate yung kanyang spirituality. Walang pleading na lumabas sa opisina namin na hindi namin pinagdasal. Kahit motion to postpone lang po yan, talagang dinadasalan po namin. Dahil para sa kanya, yung trabaho niya, regalo niya sa Diyos. So, that is my father-in-law. But what are we facing right now? You know, I'm already 35 years old. And when EDSA happened, I was very young, no? When I was 10 years old, I asked my father, nasaan ka nung EDSA Revolution? Nakikita ko sa pictures diniscuss ni teacher namin. He showed me photos, he was there, he was fighting. Nakisa siya, kasama ng iba nating kababayan. And I am glad today that 10 years, 20 years from now, when our children or grandchildren ask us that same question, when our country was under siege, when our morals were being degraded, nasaan ka, Daddy? Nasaan ka, Lolo? I thank God na may sasagot natin na noong March 27, 2019, ako, kasama ang ibang mga Pilipino, nandito sa Club Pilipino, hinihikayat ang sambayanan, baguhin natin ang direksyon ng bansang ito. Sama-sama tayong magdasal, sama-sama tayong magkaisa, dahil walang imposible, basta lahat ng Pilipino ay sama-sama. Enough is enough. Ang mali, hindi pwede maging tama kailanman. Ayan po ang pinaglalaban namin. Ayan ang gustong dalhin itong grupong ito sa Senado. Maraming pong salamat at magandang umaga po.
Maraming salamat, Attorney Ace. Now, may I call on Attorney Pancho Joaquin, the cousin of a former Secretary, former Senator Mar Rojas.
Good morning, everybody. Sa ngalan po ni Mar Rojas, nagpapasalamat po siya sa PCM at sa bawat isa sa inyo na nasama siya sa listahan nyo, sa top 10. Alam natin na 62 million po ang botante. Para makapasok po sa top 12, kailangan 15 to 16 million po ang boto ng kandidato. Kung gusto natin lahat ng mga kandidatong napili ninyo, napili natin, ay pumasok sa top 10, kailangan 18 million po, minimum, ang boto nila. Sa ngayon, kung tayo-tayo lang, mukhang hindi pa aabot. Buti na lang, may 47 days left para makakalat tayo ng 18 million votes sa bawat isa sa mga kandidato dito. Paano natin gagawin yun? Kailangan po natin magkwento. Kwento ng katotohanan. Napili na ang 10 dito. Bawat isa sa kanila may kwento ng katotohanan. Kayo na ang sumala nito at napili nga itong 10. We have to persuade those na hindi pa sinasama sa listahan nila. Yung 10 natin dito, kailangan mapaliwanagan, makipagkwentuhan. Huwag po natin i-coerce o i-impose sa kanila. Pakiusapan, paliwanagan. To be persuasive, we must be believable. To be believable, we must be credible. To be credible, we must be truthful. Alam natin, bawat isa sa atin, alam natin yung katotohanan tungkol sa mga kandidato dito. Ibahagi po natin ito, pa-isa-isa, padala-dalawa. Kung gagawin natin yon, mula ngayon, pagkatapos ng pagtitipan na to, hanggang May 13, 47 days from now, makakasiguro po tayo na ang hinahangad po natin na Independent Senate ay magkakatotoo. So 47 days na lang po. Maraming salamat po sa karangalang binigay nyo kay Mar Rojas at magandang araw.
Maraming salamat, Attorney Pancho. Now, the last one I call on Attorney Toby Tanyada, brother of Senator Erin Tanyada.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat, sa organizers ng People's Choice Movement, to the co-candidates who were endorsed this morning. At the outset, I wish to convey to you the greetings from my brother, Erin Tanyada. Unfortunately, he cannot be with us this morning due to a previous engagement. My brother is very grateful and at the same time humble that you have included him in your list of 10 best senatorial candidates. Inclusion in the list is highly coveted by senatorial candidates due to the high regard in which PCM is held by the public. My brother fully subscribes to the criteria that the Magcristo used in its selection process. Like our grandfather and father, Erin stands foursquare behind the concepts of adherence to the rule of law and to the Constitution. As you probably know, all three of them, Senator Lorenzo Tanyada, Senator Roberto Tanyada, and Erin Tanyada, were street parliamentarians and were tear gas and water cannon for their efforts to fight the Marcos dictatorship and defend human rights. My brother is likewise a firm believer in respect for people's right to practice their faith and express their beliefs. The Tanyadas are a God-fearing and devout family. We utterly are dismayed at the attacks and insults to God and to the church, and deeply deplore the threats that are being made against our bishops and priests. My family attaches the highest value to respect for human life, especially for lives that are destroyed in an extrajudicial manner. The Tanyadas believe in the common virtues of honesty and truth. Honesty is not something that you discard at election time or at your convenience. In my family's book, a person cannot be dishonest about one aspect of his or her life, as in the matter of educational qualifications, and be honest about other aspects. A person cannot be temporarily honest. He is either honest or he is not. Like other patriotic Filipinos, the Tanyadas are watching with sadness the Duterte administration's utter unwillingness to stand up for our country's sovereign rights in the West Philippine Sea. There can be no acceptable explanation for the administration's failure to protect our fishermen, to earn their livelihood in waters that have been declared as ours. The Duterte administration is bent on pursuing a shift toward federalism, despite many leaders of our society having indicated opposition thereto, including its own economic managers. Erin Tanyada believes that a shift towards federalism is unrealistic, unworkable. There is already a very heavy bureaucracy. Federalism will add another layer of this bureaucracy. The burden even of financing the proposed federal state has not even been addressed. This platform is anchored on the idea of inclusive trabajo, the creation, enhancement, and protection of jobs for workers, fishermen, farmers, women, seniors, fresh graduates. Erin Tanyada is convinced about the wisdom of a national minimum wage and the termination of the ENDO system. My brother has always championed the cause of our country's 4 million coconut farmers. That is why he pushed hard while in Congress for the recovery of the Coconut Levy Fund. He will continue the fight to ensure that this fund be used for the benefit of our coconut farmers, so they finally get justice that has been denied them for the last 4.5 decades. Last but not least, he will continue his steadfast advocacy for the Freedom of Information Bill, that it be finally passed and become law. Again, Lorenzo Erin Tanyada humbly thanks you for the endorsement this morning, and with you, he hopes to fight for an independent Senate. Maraming salamat po.
Let's have another round of applause for our selected candidate. We will now have a very short open forum for your queries or questions to our candidates, or even with the People's Choice Movement leaders who are here right now. Are there any questions or queries that you'd like to raise? Anything else that you'd like to ask our candidates? Anyone? We have a mic here, so questions? Just come over and you can have the mic. There are no questions. Okay?
FB.
Ha? Sisigaw muna. Hindi naman iba. Ano para marinig ng lahat.
Magandang hapon
po. Sherry Ann Torres po, ABS-CBN. Sa mga kandidato po, meron po ba or kasama po ba sa mga ihahatag nyo dito sa PCM kung ano man yung magiging position nyo sa issue ng political dynasty? Although sinabi nyo na po kanina, Attorney Michelle, Attorney Mary, kung ano yung iba pong kandidato, paano nyo po isusulong kung kayo yung mananalo sa eleksyon? And sa PCM po, ano ko naman, ano po yung susunod na hakbang pagkatapos po ng pagtataas ng kamay do sa mga kandidato ngayon?
The candidates will answer first.
Actually po, kahit sa Ocho Diretso, tutol kami sa political dynasty. In fact, myself, this present Congress, nag-file po tayo ng Anti-Political Dynasty Act. At we believe na importante hindi magkaroon ng monopoly of powers in certain areas dahil may pag-aaral na kung saan merong malakas na dinastiya, nandun din ang pinakamahirap na parte ng bansa natin. So I believe that we should go against political dynasty in the country.
Well, author ako ng principal author ng anti-dynasty bill sa Kongreso, 16th Congress, so I am against political dynasty.
Sa akin ay dapat palawakin pa natin yung mga term limits. Hindi lang yung incumbent ang may term limits, pati ang kanyang pamilya. Para hindi nila papasapasahan ng mga pwesto nila.
The Constitution guarantees equal access to public opportunities, and yung failure of Congress to pass a political dynasty law effectively creates a bar against public participation. There's a real wall against the participation of ordinary citizens in public office dahil nga alam nila na kung ang titipagin nila yung mga malalaking politiko na madali at matagal na nakabangon doon sa mga iba't ibang lugar, wala silang pala.
Naintindihan ko na yung mga nagdedepensa sa political dynasty say it's a reality. Pero somebody coming from yung mga malalayo sa probinsya, lalo pa, naintindihan ko na a fact of life po siya, malaking kalaban siya. In fact, Sir Alex, Attorney Alex here, even challenged me for Mindanao to be a champion for it. Pero we have to stand up. Ang demokratisasyon, ang kalaban na malaki, ay ang mga taong nasa kanila nakakumpul, sa kanila nakasentro, ang puwersa at kapangyarihan. Lalo pa sa amin sa Mindanao, minsan po personal money na po minsan ang tira, internal revenue allotment. At sinasabi natin, napakahirap labanin ang dynasty, especially sa amin na kinakailangan namin ng boto ng mga dinastiya ngayon. So it's a brave act for us, I think, to make a stand, and it is supposed to be a stand for all democratization movements all over the country. When more than half of Congress is dominated by either daughters and sons and wives of congresspersons, according to statistics of women participation in politics, you cannot, in the ARMM conference that was convened by COMELEC and women's movements 2 years ago in ARMM, barangay politics is dominated by men. Women are afraid to run because hindi sila asawa or kamag-anak. Kaya po binabasag po natin yung ganong wall of participating dahil sa maliit kayong pamilya, so-called maliliit. We would want to stand against political dynasty because dapat oras na po din ngayon.
To answer the question as far as what are we going to do now as a people's choice in order for us to help the candidates that have been chosen. First and foremost, our strength is that we are part of several organizations. I mean, we're members of several organizations. And therefore, we will first work on the members of these organizations and tell them not just to vote, but but also to influence others within their community to support the candidates that have been chosen, whom we believe are the best candidates for our country today. So we will start first in our own backyard, and then we will move on to the parishes. We will ask our members to go and engage in the parishes. There are many people there who are not part of our organizations, but who desire the same things that we do. And so we will ask them as well to support the candidates that have been chosen through a process and who are not corrupt, no record of corruption, who do not belong to political dynasties, who are against Chacha. To us, these are the most important issues that has to be brought to our people. That unless we are able to stop this, things will become worse for us instead of better. Thank you.
Are there any more questions? Yes.
Ako po si Jose Carina ng PCM and also coalition against federalism. Pero ang aking pong tanong ay nakalagay doon sa Article 12 ng proposed federal constitution na ang Kongreso ay pwedeng dagdagan ang sinabmit ng executive na budget ng legislative at saka ng judicial. Hindi pa naman naisabatas itong proposals na ito. Pero ginagawa na po ngayon yung CH system which dinadagdagan ng legislative yung kanilang punto. Minsan yung pork barrel matagal lang pinag-uusapan po ito. Ito po yung minsan napupunta sa misuse ng mga pondo. Kung lagi po kayong senador, ano po ang magagawa niyo tungkol dito? Pork barrel at
Sir, we've been a partner, sir, of, syempre, coming from the civil society, sir, nanggaling po ako sa bottoms-up budgeting advocacy, wherein we encourage people's participation sa pag-formulate ng budgeting from inception to evaluation. So, hindi lang kasama yung tao as beneficiary, but we must be part of what is decided upon by our barangay captain, submitted to the mayor, submitted to the congressperson. We'd like that framework and system to be put in place. So may mga pagkukulang pa rin po yun. They try to implement that po noon, bottoms-up budgeting. We'd like to look towards shifting that kind of budgeting bias towards that kind of system, bottoms-up. And for the Senate, that's the way to go. You're going to have to make people participate in the deliberations. You're going to have make people's participation in the seats when hearings are being done in Congress, actual Congress. We want to demand. Kaya kailangan pong kumakalampag na doon from within Congress and Senate na may taong nagbabantay and their seat in hearings should be deliberate, should be put as an automatic allocation for them, that they should be voiced, they should be representing their own budget proposals during the actual deliberations of budget.
Ganito lang po yan, before PDAF was declared unconstitutional, bahagi rin po ako sa pag-determina ng mga proyekto sa opisina ni Senador Trillanes. Sa totoo lang po, nung hindi na-declare ang PDAF na unconstitutional, wala pang problema sa amin dahil hindi naman po tayo nagnanakaw o nagpo-komisyon sa mga proyekto. Dahil pag titignan po natin, kaakibat dito ang executive department, wala namang mangyayari na pagnanakaw kung hindi kakunsaba ang executive department because it is the executive department that implements the projects. Katulad sa agrikultura, nasa Department of Agriculture, may kakunsaba ka doon. Kaya nga nandoon po ang gate. Kung hindi makikilahok ang Executive Department, walang mangyayaring korupsyon dahil taga-allocate lamang ang Kongreso. Ngayon po, dahil na-declare na siya unconstitutional, tutun po tayo doon sa lump sum and discretionary kasi prone to abuse. Prone to abuse yan. But you cannot stop members of Congress to recommend projects sa kanilang distrito. Nakalagay sa ating Local Government Code of 1991 na bahagi ang Kongreso sa pagpaplano doon sa lokal kung anong proyekto ang isusulong at bahagi sa irerekomenda sa taas. Kaya nga pagpatibayin dapat natin ang planning. Kasi right now we have problems in the planning. We have problems in the absorptive capacity of agencies of government. Kaya sumusobra ang pondo natin. Hindi dapat na na-submit na yung National Expenditure Plan sa Kongreso, doon pa maghahagil ng mga proyekto, dapat tapos na. Hindi na dapat naghihilaan ng mga proyekto doon. Kaya nga, I filed a bill to mandate all local government units to come up with a long-term master development plan. Na hindi po pwedeng mag-recommend ka ng proyekto na hindi bahagi ng iyong master development plan. Kasi alam natin sa lokal na pag ang nakaupong mayor ay hindi kaalyado nung pinalitan niya, papalitan niya yung anumang planong nandyan. So depende personal sa mayor kung anong plano sa lokal. But if there is a master development plan na hindi pwedeng baguhin ng mayor, susundin at susundin yan. Ngayon po, naliwanag naman sa Kongreso naghihilaan ng pondo. Yung leadership fund na doon sa taas. Kaya nga importante na vigilant tayong lahat, importante sa implementation ng project, binabantayan yon. Dahil at the end of the day, sa infrastructure, DPWH sa mag-i-implement. Kung hindi natin babantayan yun, patuloy pa rin ang issue ng corruption sa gobyerno.
In 2013, when the Napoles pork barrel scandal came into the fore, nag-file po ako ng bill sa Kongreso na i-legalize ang pork barrel. Sabi ng kasamahan ko sa Kongreso, Denny, bakit ayaw mong pumunta ang pondo sa tao? Sabi ko, kaya ko ma-final ang bill kasi gusto kong diretso ang pondo sa tao, huwag nang sumabit pa sa bulsa ng mga politiko. Yan ang aking paniwala po dyan. Kung may pondo, diretso sa ospital. Pag mahirap ka, i-avail mo kagad ang pondo mo. Libreng konsultasyon, libreng doktor, libreng gamot. Pero kung ibigay mo sa politiko, i-deviate mo ang pondo dito as pork barrel, ang unang tanong ni Kong o ni Sen ay, saan barangay ka? Barangay Cruz? Abay, talo ako doon na. Sino kapitan mo? Si Reyes? Abay, kontrapartido yun. Walang karapatan ang sino mang congressman o senador na mag-decide kung bibigyan kanya ng pondo o hindi. Bakit? Pera ng taong bayan yan. What right have we? What right have we to decide whether you deserve it or not? Diretso ang pondo sa tao, huwag nang sumabit pa sa bulsa ng mga politiko. Sino mas nakakaalam? Saan magpatayo ng eskwelahan? Si Kong o DepEd? Siyempre DepEd, malay ni Kong. Saan magpapatayo ng kalsada? Sino? Si Kong o si DPWH? Siyempre DPWH, trabaho niya yan eh. Yan ang posisyon ko dyan. Incestuous para sa members of Congress na gumawa ka ng budget, tapos ang implementation noon ay i-implement mo pa. Para sa akin, tayo po sa pork barrel ng 2013 is the principal position. So I support Senator Lacson's position na dapat matanggal ang pork barrel sa budget. This budget, recently approved by the Senate, is full of pork barrels. Ang problema dyan, naka-allocate yung pork barrels dyan ngayon sa 2019 budget. At ang aking panawagan dyan, dapat si President Duterte hindi niya i-approve ang ibito niya ang lahat ng pork barrels dyan kahit pinasok pa yan ng alyado niyang si Gloria Arroyo. Maraming salamat.
Pumupunta doon sa
Pork is pork, no matter how you cook it. And sa akin ay, it's really, there's no question about that. The use of pork barrel is a violation of the separation of powers. It's really the President's way of controlling Congress. Kaya kahit na anong sabihin nilang hindi yan labag sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema, etc., pork pa rin yan. And I will do everything I can to oppose it and to expose it.
Noong I think 2014, the Supreme Court declared PDAF unconstitutional. At the time, nakalagay dun sa budget, I think about 70 million for members of Congress and 200 million for members of the Senate. So ngayon, tinanggal na yun. Pero ang problema, actually, parang ibinaon mo lang yung kultura ng pork barrel. Kaya nga paulit-ulit nating naririnig, ngayon mas malaki pa talaga yung pork barrel. Kasi hindi na nakalagay dun sa budget, nakabaon na siya kung saan-saan lump sums dun sa General Appropriations Act. So sa tingin ko, whether or not nilagay mo siya or ibaon mo siya, yung kultura ng pork barrel nandun pa rin. Paano mo titibagin yung kultura ng pork barrel? I think unang-una is to have a very transparent process para malaman ng mga mamamayan mismo kung saan napupunta yung pera. Para alam nila, etong project na to, 10 million, dapat yata mga 5 billion na. Pangalawa, I think, napaka-importante na bigyan ng insentiba yung ating mga mamamayan at iba't ibang organisasyon para sipatin kung saan napupunta yung pera. Dahil yung mga ordinary mamamayan, yung media, marami din silang nagagawa. Hindi lahat ng paraan ng paggamit ng pera pwedeng bantayan. So I think we need to think of a creative way, and one of that is by providing money for people who do scrutiny of the budget. Para kapag nakakita sila ng corrupt na paggamit ng pera, then there's an incentive for them. Dahil yung trabaho ng mga mamamayan talagang nahihirapan tayo dahil marami din tayo ibang ginagawa. Thank you.
I don't think we have any more time for additional questions. From the press. Okay, one last. Okay, one last.
I don't know if you can answer this in short sentences. What is your reaction with the actions of Senator Tito Soto? I'm Alvin Casinas from Manila Bulletin. Senator Tito Soto in signing of the GAP, despite his reservations on the alleged discrepancies in the budget. Do you think that the Senate yielded its ground in fighting for the alleged discrepancies with the national budget, just to end the budget impasse?
Pero sa aking pagkakaintindi, binibigay nila yung leeway sa Presidente na i-veto yung items sa tingin nila ay merong pork barrel or unconstitutional. So yun po yung pagkakaintindi ko kasi ang isang factor din also sa Senado na nakita ko ay yung nadidelay yung pag-approve niyan. Ilalong walang pondo na magagamit ang ating gobyerno kasi sa second quarter na itong Abril. So kung hindi pa yan ma-approve, lalong madidilayan ng kalahating taon. So i-epektuhan ng development projects ng ating gobyerno. So yun po ang aking tingin. But I am still in favor of removing all questionable items in the budget at pwedeng gawin ng Presidente yan kung talagang kontra siya sa issue ng corruption.
I don't know in particular ang motive ni Senator Soto sa pag-sign. Probably he was thinking na ang pagmadelay ang budget, magiging lump sum yung buong budget sa 2019. And that's a source, of course, also of corruption and pork barrel. Pero I support his expression publicly ng reservation niya. Kasi pinopoint out niya doon yung mga questionable items. May pork barrel ang 2019 budget. Matagal na namin sinasabi niya. Mabuti talagang in-echo ni Senator Lacson yan dito sa 2019 budget. Ang pork barrel po compromises the independence of Congress. Ang isa sa pinakamalaking dahilan bakit ang maraming congressman, maraming senador lumilipat sa partido ng bagong presidente is because of pork barrel. Kaya dapat talagang matanggal yun kasi para sa akin, it also is not only a source of corruption, but is also it also compromises the independence of Congress. And lastly, yung mga challengers na katulad namin, loaded na agad si incumbent congressman o senador kasi may pork siya all through the years. Mag-ikot siya, kami na siyang proyekto, kami sabihin sa amin anong ginawa. Kaya nga, dapat i-eliminate talaga yan, all semblance, because it not only is an issue of corruption, it is also an issue on the subservience of electoral will and defeating the electoral will sa election dahil hindi na level ang playing field sa isang pork barrel-ridden government.
Whatever the motivations of Senator Soto, the pork is there. Cannot say that it's not. I don't entertain much notion that the President is going to do anything about it. Because kaya nga nila na ganyan dahil ginagamit niya pang control sa Kongreso.
Well, I think the problem is kahit ano mangyari mayroong pork. Ang tanong lang sino yung gagamit ng pork. Kung pag hindi napasa yung budget, then yung budget magiging discretionary fund basically ng buong presidente. Kaya naman nung panahon, for example, ni President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, walang naipasa na budget on time. Kasi pag hindi mo napasa yung budget on time, that means na mas maraming discretionary fund yung presidente. So, there's actually incentive for the executive department na hindi mag-budget on time. Dahil lumalakas siya pag hindi na-budget on time. On the other hand, kapag nabasa mo naman yung budget, and kung susundin natin yung reservation ni Senate President Tito Soto, alam niya naman na marami ding mga questionable na ipasok dun sa budget. Kaya ultimately talaga ang solusyon is kailangan may mga magbantay dun sa paggastos ng pera. Dahil yung pera magagastos.
As a former Bangsamoro Transition Commissioner, one of my major issue is the continuity of monitoring the gains of the BOL, because without budget of the BTA, Bangsamoro Transition Authority, within the GAA, there will be no implementation of the gains. And the gains will not be sustained with one bomb that will happen in a location because you don't have children or budgeting for preventing violent extremism. So kinakailangan po yung BTA, the transition of officials who are 80 members. Can you imagine po ilang sweldo yan? Ilang sweldo, ilang gasolina, ilang tao po yan. So sana po nabantayan yan ng mga congresspersons and legislators that they ensure that the BTA is provided for in the GAA.
Okay, are you from the media also?
Inquirer.
Okay, can you...
Quick reaction lang po din sa statement ni President Duterte kagabi about a share. Bakit daw po buhay pa si a share? Do you think they improve?
Sabi po kagabi ni President Duterte, bakit daw buhay pa si Asherto and behind daw po yung yellows kung bakit nag-resurface ulit si Asherto. Ano yung reaction?
Again, the cowboy language is not what we need right now. It is about addressing the very disturbing Reuters report about police killings, deliberate, systematic, itemized, on a payroll. So I'm very deeply disturbed. I don't know if you remember that I was the one in the debate with Bato in the channel. Yeah, Bato, that he did not get to answer my question on survivorship funds for widows and people who are victimized by Tokang. So I continue to call on the President to stop his Tokang war, reckless, without a protection mechanism for victims, no lawyers. It should be about prosecution. It is not about knocking and killing people on their doorstep.
Unang-una, this is a serious issue, serious allegation. Meron ng alleged drug lord or drug lords na nakaabot sa Malacanang. Di ba dapat tingnan at imbestigahan kaagad instead of diverting the issue on, sabihin natin, ay yung background ng mensahero at ipinagbibintang sa oposisyon. Dapat imbestigahan muna at klaruhin kasi nga ho, dalawa po yan. Either hindi nila alam at na-penetrate ng highest echelon ng ating bansa or kakunsaba ang gobyernong ito sa pagpaabot ng toneladang droga sa Pilipinas. Nalalagay ang kredibilidad ng war on drugs sa issue ito. Hindi dapat nila i-brush aside. Kasi narinig niyo bang nagwala ang presidente nang dumating yung mga tunilada sa bansa, yung droga? Hindi. Ito yung mga sirkumstansya eh. Hindi siya nag-order ng manhunt doon sa likod nang nagpaabot ng mga tuniladang droga sa Pilipinas. Yun tayo nagtataka eh. Nagmumura siya, nagsasabi siyang patayin, pero yung mga ordinaryong mamamayan ang pinapatay. Pagdating sa issue ng mga drug lords, tahimik siya. So that means, parang may problema tayo doon. No? And then next, merong bahid records sa Davao na siya ang mayor pa. At ngayon, magkasama sila. Dapat maging maingat ang presidente sa pag-a-appoint ng sino man na idikit niya sa sarili niya na may background na pag-operate ng drug laboratory sa Pilipinas. Dahil libo-libo na ang pinatay dito sa war on drugs. No? And then, pag sinabi niya bakit buhay pa yan, ibig sabihin, totoong pinapapatay niya. Inuutusan niya yung military at pulis na pumatay. Kaya hindi coincidence na libo-libo na ang namamatay dahil nagmura lang siya sa publiko.
Ang administrasyon ni President Duterte are full of sycophants. Pag sinasabi niyang birahin niya ang Chief Justice, nagkakandara pa na sila lahat para i-impeach. Pag sabihin niyang birahin niya yung ICC publicly, nagkandara pa sila para mag-withdraw. Pag bibirahin niya si Senator Trillanes, nagkakandara pa rin sila magana para yung kanya, nullify ang amnesty niya. Kaya pag sinabi niya, bakit buhay pa yan? May message yan sa sycophants eh. Kaya napaka-dangerous ng mga public statements na yan. Pero ito naman ang warning sa mga sycophants. Presidents come and go. In a few years' time, wala na dyan si President Duterte. And people will really assert the justice that they so richly deserve. Kayo, let the lesson of General Jovito Palparan be a lesson to all of you. Na nawala na si GMA, kulong si Palparan. Napaka-serious ng, I agree with Gary here, napaka-serious ng allegation. August of 2017, may inter-report na pala dyan sa YAM na yan. Tapos, on March of 2018, in-appoint nyo. Nilista mo lang yung isang tao sa listahan, patay. Kasi mahirap lang yon. Ito may inter-report na, hindi lang ito listahan, may inter-report na, in-appoint mo pang economic advisor mo. Pag wala ba namang nangyaring milagro doon ewan ko lang. Pangalawa, maturo dito hindi ng President Duterte, kundi ilang senatorial candidates niya. Seryoso na investigahan yan kaysa i-dismiss mo in such a nonchalant manner na parang bakit buhay pa yan? This government is full of sycophants, and these public statements of President Duterte are very dangerous statements that must not be allowed to anyone, including the President of the Republic.
Alam kaya ni Pangulo yung lumalabas sa kanyang bibig. At ang tanong ko dyan kung hindi naman totoo yung sinasabi ni Asierto, bakit gusto niyang mamatay? If there's really no truth to what he is saying, why does the President implicitly want to silence him? We need to have a full-blown investigation. Kailangan malaman ng taong bayan at ba talagang katotohanan siya. At tama na yung mga ganyan na mga napaka-irresponsible mga salita.
That's an indirect order to kill. Diba? Hindi naman kailangan intindihin pa ng malalim yung sinabi ng President. And that indirect order to kill is an impeachable offense. But we also understand that these are not normal situations. Kapag sinabi mo ng seryoso yung sinabi ng Presidente, tinrato mo ng seryoso, sasabihin, joke lang. Kasi it's become a very lazy and convenient excuse for them that all the outrageous statements of the President, which would otherwise constitute a crime or an impeachable offense, are sheltered by the defense. It's just a joke. But whether it's serious or just a joke, that kind of language contributes to a culture of impunity. Lahat na lang ng lengguwahe natin, lahat na lang ng sagot, parang patayan. And down the line, it's not going to help the kind of democracy that we have. Ang laging sagot na lang ay patayan.
Idagdag ko lang sa military at sa police, the wish of the commander is the command to the troops. Pag nagparinig ang commander mo, gawin mo na.
One last na. One last.
Centralized command yan eh.
Sirs, ma'am, one last lang from my end. How do you look at the President's statement last night about the worsening drug problem in the country, and that security officials are now in the brink of resignation now of resolving this problem?
Alam niyo po, ngayon na pa tayo nakakita na ang tagal na i-implement yung war on drugs, lalong lumala. Dapat hindi mo pala ginalaw yan para hindi na lumala. No? So nagpapakita na ito yung failure on the part of this government to address illegal drugs in the country. Instead, na gumonte yung user, dumami. From 1.8 naging 8 million. For me, he's trying to maintain that crisis in the country to justify his killings and to sow fear to the people. Otherwise, pag na-address na yung problema, wala na siyang use. Wala nang use yung pagmumura niya, wala nang use yung pagpatayan kasi wala nang problema. So he wanted to maintain that crisis because in the first place, maling-mali na yung data niya nung simula pa lang na maraming drug addicts sa Pilipinas. Drug users, not addicts. No, drug users. Less than 10% accounts for the heavy users. All the rest, occasional users. Kaya maling-mali na yung data niya. Kaya nung nagsalita yung DDB chairman before, Benjamin Reyes, he was fired. No, nung nag-assert si Judicial Santiago, he was fired. Kaya wala na magsasalita ng opposed sa sinasabi ng Presidente. Now, bakit tinutuloy pa natin ang war on drugs? Napalpak pala sila. And he is even saying that we're becoming like Mexico. Sino pa naman ang matapang na pinapatay ka na, tuloy ka pa rin? Lalong dumami yung droga, lalong nag-enjoy yung mga kartel at pumupunta sa Pilipinas.
This just validates what Ocho Derecho stands for. It's the system, it's the crime prevention. I advocate for crime prevention at the root, at the core. Supuin ang kahirapan. Women must lead drug operations. When it is women who lead drug operations, they will mediate. They will not shoot to kill. They are not about firing their gun. They are about understanding and talking to the tambay, to the men of the compound and the shelter and the house. It also validates our position against the lowering of the age of criminal responsibility. It is not about the age issue of children. It is about child rights. It is about child development. It is about preventing young people from entering drug addiction. Ang tingnan ang mga matatandang sindikato na ginagamit ang bata. Hindi ang bata na nagiging beneficiary lang at nag-o-obey lang ng orders ng mataas at matanda. This validates what we all stand for sa Ocho Derecho, that we are geared towards rooting the issues at the core. Hindi yung mga band-aid solutions, which is Tokhang itself. Tokhang is a band-aid solution. Hindi mo tinignan ng shipment, hindi mo tinignan ng ating water surveillance ang sa katubigan ng Pilipinas. Intelligence, investment, monitoring, bigyan puwersa ang ating mga barko para bantayan ang ating Navy patrolling. Ang pinapatay ang bata, ang pinapatay ang pamilya. Walang programa. I grieve for the widows, kaya siguro tumitindig ang isang butok at ang Ocho Derecho.
July 23, 2018, SONA. Ano ang sabi ni President Duterte? The campaign against the anti-drug campaign is not effective. Kaya akala mo, he goes back, he will say, go back to the drawing board and plan it out again. But the ending of the SONA, the anti-drug campaign will continue as ruthless and as chilling as ever. Anong klaseng isip? Hindi na effective eh. Tutuloy mo pa ngayon, he validated that SONA speech. Kasi hindi yun ang solusyon. Doon ka sa demand side, bumibira sa mga users, sa mga suspected addicts. Dito pa kaya sa supply side, pakulong mo lahat yun. Huwag mo i-appoint economic advisor. Ipakulong mo yung mga supply side na mga drug lords. birahin mo ang mga generals, ang pulis, ang governor, ang mayor, ang congressman, na judge, fiscal na tumutulong na mag-proliferate ng drugs. Sa loob ng gobyerno mismo, di ba? But in any case, bitter than that na yan, ang Thaksin, Prime Minister Thaksin, launched as bloody anti-war drug in Thailand. Thousands ang patay. Overthrow siya ng Thai people, is now in exile na. Ngayon, ang sabi ng Thai police, ang solusyon na lang nila, legalize na lang daw ang drug sa Thailand. Kasi center ang Thailand ng drug trade sa Asia. Kaya ang economics ang solusyon, Mr. President. Pag ang tao ay kapit sa patalim, ang asawa niya nasa ospital, wala pambili ng gamot, wala makain ng anak niya, magbibigay ng 1,000 pesos, i-deliver mo ilang gramo ng shabu. Kahit alam mo mamamatay, pwede kang mamatay ngayong gabi. Kahit alam mo pwede kang matukhang, mabypass yan. Pero kapit ka sa patalim, i-deliver mo yan. Pero pag may disente kang trabaho, 20,000, 25,000 ang sahod mo kada buwan, makakain 3 beses ang anak mo, makapag-aral, may libreng edukasyon, hospitalization, tatanggapin mo ba yung 1,000 pesos? Mr. President, nagugutom na ang mamamayang Pilipino, naghihikaos na sa mataas na sa presyo. Kaya yung palang atupagin mo, huwag mong ibigay yan sa mga economic managers mo lang na binibenta lang tayo sa mga bansang katulad ng China.
Akala ko ba si Pangulo mismo ang nangako na siya ay magre-resign? Kung hindi niya na maayos itong problema ng droga within 6 months, the buck stops with the President. O di sino dapat na mag-resign?
Well, the Filipinos were well informed about what the President intended to do. And so some people, maybe even millions of Filipinos, entered into that contract that we can undermine the value of life to solve one particular problem, which is the problem of drugs. The latest admission of the President is an admission of failure of his basic platform in government, and that he can enforce peace and order by doing away with the war on drugs. Which brings us to the larger issue, how to wake up Filipino citizens to the reality of a failed war on drugs. Kaya naman, kasama dun sa kampanya namin, ng mga napili ng People's Choice Movement, yung kampanya ng pag-iisip dun sa mga tao, na may mga pulisiya na nagresulta sa pagkamatay ng napakaraming tao, na malinaw na mali, na hindi lang, na malinaw din na hindi gumagana. Salamat po.
Okay, I think we can now end the press conference. We'd like to thank our senatoriables for their responses to all the queries. Also, the media can still continue to interview our senators, maybe outside, while you're having your refreshments. We invite everyone to take your refreshment outside. Meanwhile, we'd like to thank everybody for your presence today. A good and positive.
Thank you everyone.